I've never been the type to run from competition. Then I say I go towards competition. I'm not a guy that's gonna run from competition, never in life. Because at some point in life, you gotta compete and be a man and stand 10 toes down. And my dad told me that growing up, and my trainer, Oliver Bozeman as well. We never scared and running from no competition. I had to compete majority of my life. When I came to FIU, I was competing. I started at the bottom of the depth chart, worked my way up a couple weeks later. I didn't start the first game of my freshman year. I ended up starting the very next game, and then the rest was history. But in my first year of playing varsity football, I was in the 8th grade, and I was the third string as an 8th grader, competing with two juniors in front of me. I ended up beating them out, and the same thing happened when I transferred to Miami Central. They had 5 quarterbacks there, and I transferred in and end up being the starter quarterback. So yeah, I've never been the type to run from competition. Uh, if anything, I say I go towards competition more than anything because that just makes me a better player and a better man at the end of the day. But the decision for me was more so smart decision because now modern day in college football, the NFL is not going nowhere. So if I could stay, uh, if I got opportunity to stay, learn, and get opportunity to come back and still get paid, it's a win-win situation. You know what I'm saying?
Look at that, Coach Frost have coached at UCF.
Yeah.
You're talking about Mackenzie Milton,
Yeah,
one of the
Coach
most.
KZ.
He's on your team. He's coaching you now. But
Yeah.
you talk about Coach Milton. Like
Mhm.
this dude hooked at UCF under these guys, and there's some similarities in your game and his game. So I can
Yeah.
see,
He said
I can see that.
he told me that a couple times. He told me that today too. But he tell me every now and then like I remind him of him. So that's a good thing.
You tell me that you beat out two juniors in high school when you were an 8th grader for a
Yeah.
quarterback battle. I got that right?
Yeah, I went to a charter high, so it was like a K through 12 Matter Academy down in Hialeah. That was actually my first year of varsity football as an 8th grader. I was supposed to be playing on the park still, but I ended up playing varsity football because the coach said, I had a chance to play. And, me coming in, wanting to compete and get better as a player, um, I was behind two juniors. They had already been there, I think, 2 years prior, or if I'm not mistaken, all 3 years. Um, and yeah, I ended up, winning the starting job by the grace of God. But, I'm a hardworking guy. I always keep my head down, work. I'm humble. I like, I say I like guys like to play with me. I'm a leader at the end of the day, but I feel like I can get my guys going, and guys like to play with me as well.
So you started 5 years in a row from 8th grade through your senior year.
Yeah.
Spent one game on the bench at FIU and have started pretty much ever since outside of injuries.
Hmm.
That's a crazy run of
Yeah.
always being the guy.
Yeah, facts. That's why my senior year, the game kind of slowed down for me my junior year of high school, but my senior year, the game was just way more slower. So I feel like my high school years is translating to college, because the more I'm going, as I'm going, the game is getting slower. And I feel like if I do get that 5th year, the game will be way more slower. And with me being in the system already, knowing the offense, it'll just be crazy.
Through the whole college journey, and you've played a lot of college football, like we've talked about. What
Mm.
do you think the biggest challenge of your entire journey has been so far?
I say being like more of a vocal leader. Cause you got a lot of grown men in the room on the teams, and me, I used to be like I knew not say used to be so like I was more so big on like leading by example, and I'll talk here and there. Um, but coming into college, it's different. You can't do that. You have to be way more of a vocal leader. Um, cause guys, they'll get behind you if they feel like you taking control and taking command, especially being the quarterback, one of the leaders on the team, captains of the team. But far as like on the field, off the field, maturity and stuff like that, that's never been a problem. But I say being more of a vocal leader, and I'm learning now, at UCF, leadership is a contact sport. So whether that's high five and giving slaps on the butt, things like that. But definitely being more of a vocal leader. That was one of my hardest challenges.
Who on the staff has helped you improve your game the most since arriving in Orlando?
Mackenzie Milton, no doubt. Coach KZ. Um, because he wants to see the best in me, and he see like I told you earlier, he says he sees him and me. So that's a big compliment for me. And he and every week possibly try to help me improve my game. Whether that's on the field, off the field, mostly off the field though, because he says he tell me a lot like there's not too much he can teach with me, which is a good thing. But that guy he's been on my butt. I told him he could coach me hard. I'm not afraid of hard coaching. He's been great since since day one. Help with me whenever I need help. He's a man of Christ, which is big for me because I started my journey not too long ago, and that says a lot. So I'll definitely say Coach Mackenzie Miller.
What do you, the number one way he's helped you improve your game would be?
Off the field on the board, understanding defenses and coverages more. I understood it, but he really breaking down the details and just getting that I'll say that being more detailed about understanding coverages and defenses and stuff like that. And seeing little details on the field to give like takeaways as far as like what's gonna get you into what, getting into certain protections and what'll be good for certain defenses in place.
On the faith side, what was the turning point in that journey? Because you said that that's been new to you. What was the turning point in your faith journey?
When I first got in the portal, it kind of it sprung for a short period of time and then kind of died down. And for I'll probably say like 2 weeks, I had a dead period. Nobody was reaching out. Um, Times was tough. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, phone calls. I'm stressed out. Worry about everything. But this is now. I'm going to church more, praying every night. Reading my Bible. That gave me time to sit and be in the presence of God even more. And when I see Him give me this opportunity, turn my life around. Um, when the opportunity presented itself, I took it because I missed this opportunity last year when I didn't take it at Texas Tech. But yeah, he's been so good to me through the good and the bad, and I learned to praise him. And he could do so many things. Just stay faithful. And you always come on top. If you got him, nobody. If God's with you, who can be against you? You know what I'm saying? So
So for a second there was kind of that feeling in your stomach of, man, if I had gone to Tech a year ago, I'm sitting behind Baron Morton, but now I would have gotten to show that coaching staff what I could have gotten to do over a year. And, maybe I'm the guy for one of the premier teams in the country, and you didn't want to make that mistake twice to not take an opportunity to learn
yeah,
and get a chance to show the
that was
staff what you're
something I
capable
talked
of.
about with my trainer. I wouldn't really say a regret, because everything happens for a reason. But it was more so like we can't miss that opportunity again when it presented itself.
And like you said, you'd never lost a competition. You never
Uh,
lost a competition before, so you had to.
yeah, the confidence there. Like don't get me wrong, the confidence gonna always be there. I never let nobody take my light away.
You've always had confidence, and you can see that. And you've always been successful. But is this newfound faith giving you a different type of confidence than
Yeah,
maybe you've had in the past?
I say yeah, times 10. As I was reading, it says, "Build your foundation on the rock," and the rock is Him, Jesus Christ. Set your foundation on the rock, and your house will never break down. Rather than he who builds his house on the sand or stuff like that. Build your house on the rock, or your foundation on the rock, and you'll be good. You can weather any storm.
When you leave UCF, what do you want your legacy to be as a Knight?
I want my legacy to be that I played for the brother to my left and the brother to my right, and I was a great leader. Or that was on the field, off the field, and I wasn't taking no crap from nobody. And I was a winner.